So today involves taking stock of the joints by making sure that we are keeping certain joints still so that we can encourage mobility in the joints that we're targeting. So I'm going to start with my feet parallel, and my left foot is going to be anchored, which means I'm not going to let it pivot no matter how much it wants to or slide out. The only thing it can do is the heel can lift and lower, but even then, as little as possible. So what I am going to do is step forward, and I can straighten, I want to straighten my rooted leg. And then I come back to center. I'm going to try that a couple of times, just step. And then if I want, I can increase that by lifting my hands overhead and looking overhead. And coming back to center, sweeping up and looking overhead. My back leg comes to straight. I can also take that behind me. So just the feet to begin with, stepping back to parallel, sending the tailbone back, so now the stable leg comes to straight. You're noticing a pattern here. Every time the stable leg comes to straight. This time, when I step back, I can sweep my arms back and up. So those two movements combined look like this. Back to center, and then up, back to center. I'm stepping parallel each time. I'm not letting either foot move out of the parallel orientation. So now I can take that from side to side. The side movement is stepping out to the right, continuing to let my hips travel to the right as my head travels to the left in a side bend. Then I come back through center. So I step out to the right, my hips continue to travel to the right while my head travels to the left, and my stable leg comes to straight. Of course, my right knee needs to bend. Then I go in the opposite direction, which involves stepping across, but my feet remain parallel. Now my hips are traveling left. They continue to travel left as my head travels right. Step back to center and step across. Your step across might not look very big to start off with. And I'm looking at maintaining a side bend here. I'm not leaning forward. I can bring the arms into that by stepping out. As the right hip goes out, the right hand goes over, and the left hand goes under. And the other way, stepping across, left, since the left hip is going over, left over, right under. So let's try that a couple of times again. Stepping out to the right, right over, left under, and then stepping across to the left, left out, right under. Back to neutral. Before we pattern the last movement in the sequence, let's just look at something that we can practice with the hips first. So what I'm looking at doing here is turning from the hip, not the spine. So you can see, if you look carefully, my spine actually isn't changing shape. So I'm not rotating from the spine, I'm rotating from the hip. If I were rotating from the spine, you can see that's what would be happening. So it's the rotation from the hip that we're looking for. So think of pressing into the floor and turning from the hip as far as you can in both directions. And now this time, as I turn out, I'm going to step and straighten my leg and then come back. Let's try that a couple more times. So turning, stepping out, straightening, and then using the rotational ability of my hip to come back. If I want to do something with the hands there, sorry, I need to step forward here. I could bring my hands out front, come out, reach to the back wall as my leg comes to straight, and then come back through center. So again, step out, reach to the back wall, forward, and coming back through center. Of course, if I have one side, I have another. So let me just adjust my position here. So now I'm turning this way, but still across the hip. Unlike the other one we did, the foot is not coming to parallel. Instead, now the foot is coming to face the opposite wall. So reaching across, turning the foot so that it's facing a completely different direction. It is no longer parallel. However, the stable leg is still coming to straight. If I want to add the arms to that, it's the same arm motion. I just continue to reach to the back wall and come back to front. Out. Continue to the reach to the back wall and out to front. So the whole sequence looks like this. And back, and side, and other side, and open, and close. And you might find yourself struggling to keep your foot rooted. As you saw me, if you go back and look at it, you saw I really had to struggle to keep that foot rooted. You can do it at any pace. So let's try the other side now. First of all, let's just try it without the hands. So stepping forward, straightening now the right leg, stepping back, again, bringing the right leg to straight by sending the tailbone back, stepping out to the side, so the hips go to the side, the left, while the head goes to the right. Now in the opposite direction, since I'm stepping to the right, the hips continue to travel to the right, the head goes left. Coming back to neutral, opening, straightening, and closing. And now stepping across, closing, and then opening. And of course, I can add the hands to that. I'll step forward a little bit, or maybe I'll do it from this orientation so that you can see from a different perspective. So, stepping forward and reaching back. Stepping to the side and the other side. Rotating from the hip to step and continuing to reach. Coming back to front and then coming across and also continuing to reach toward whatever is behind me. Coming back to front. All right. I might suggest you do 3 on one side and 3 on the other, but play with it and see what is interesting for you. So if you're feeling a lot of resistance from your joints, maybe go smaller. Don't take the step quite so big. See what your capacity is to do this where you're just flirting at the edge of discomfort without really going too far into it. But this is great for developing an awareness of the joints and also for increasing your capacity. So I hope that you enjoyed that, and I look forward to seeing you again soon on the 5-Minute Movement. Take care. Bye now.